Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Today, we are talking about raising your fees without fear and how to own your worth and attract the right clients. This is one of the most common questions that I get asked. And if we haven't met before, hi, I'm Sarah Brill, and I'm an award-winning money mindset mentor and financial coach. And today, we're going to be diving into a topic that can feel both terrifying but also really empowering when things feel aligned. And that is raising your fees. So if you've ever hesitated to charge what you're worth because you're scared of maybe losing clients, maybe you're feeling stuck or battling with a little bit of imposter syndrome, then this video is for you. Here's the thing. Raising fees isn't just about making more money. It's about stepping into your value, creating alignment in your business, and positioning yourself as an expert who serves clients at the highest level. So by the end of this video, you're going to have the tools and some mindset tips and shifts that you're going to need to help you confidently raise your fees and attract the right clients without fear, without guilt, and without hesitation. And often what can happen is we second guess ourselves when it comes to money. We get that little thought that comes up going, oh, maybe I shouldn't call that person and ask them for the money that they owe me. And so today we're going to be unpacking this and seeing how you can confidently step into your worth and charge your value. Now, I have got some notes in front of me, so bear with me if I look like I'm looking down, but that's to make sure that I cover everything off so that you get the most value out of this little session. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. So, first of all, let's talk about why raising your fees actually feels a little bit scary. Let's talk about why that might feel a little bit scary. So, first of all, you might find this a little bit uncomfortable when it comes to raising your fees because you might have a fear of losing clients. And you might think to yourself, if I charge more, those clients aren't going to want to work with me anymore. They're not going to be able to afford to work for me anymore. And this fear often comes from scarcity mindset, the belief that there aren't enough clients out there or that there aren't enough of the right clients out there. And I see this quite a lot because the fear is having nothing. The fear is that if you raise your fees, people are going to say to you that it's not worth the money. And fundamentally, that comes from a self-belief. And just to clarify here, a belief is a story that we hold to be true. Now, I'm not talking about a fact like the sky is blue. I'm talking about a belief like I can't charge any more because people won't pay for it. And that is what we call a limiting belief. So, something that holds us back is a limiting belief, and a story that we hold as true is a belief. And sometimes those beliefs can serve us, and sometimes they can hold us back. And so, if you're thinking to yourself, if I increase my fees, people aren't going to want to work with me anymore, then actually what you're doing is you're putting out to the universe this limiting belief around scarcity. And often, to take another segue, often when I ask people, why do you want that money? You want to raise your fees, but what's the intention behind it? What is it that you actually want? And a lot of the time, people don't really know. And so I would say to you, if you're someone listening to this and you want to raise your fees because you want to make more money, I would say, what do you want to use that money for? What's your intention for that money? Money loves purpose. Money needs purpose, right? Money needs purpose. Money is intention. It's intentional. It's the vehicle that's going to help us do more or buy things in life that we want to do. It buys us time. It buys us physical, material things, right? So we need to get really clear. And when I say think about what you want, often people say, well, I don't want XYZ, right? I want to make more money, but I don't want to be working more hours. Or, I I don't want to be, or I don't believe that it's possible, right? So that is the limiting belief, the but that comes up for us. I want to charge more, but that is the limiting belief. Okay. And some of these are going to be really ingrained into our subconscious because, as I spoke about in my last video, all about society and how about the social construct of money has come about and the psychology of money, we are conditioned to think that we should fit inside this little box of how much we should be charging and what types of services should be a certain price. Now, to dispel this belief, we need to look for evidence. So you might say some hairdressers charge £20 an hour. Well, or $20 an hour, but there are also some hairdressers out there that will charge a few £1,000s or dollars an hour. And that might be because they're working in a different niche, they're working in a different industry, they're working with different types of clients. And so the truth is, there is no right or wrong type of clients, right? You just have to get aligned with who these clients are who are going to be paying this increased fee. And it's likely that these people are going to be more motivated, they're going to put more value on your services. And therefore, as a result of that, they're going to see better and greater results from the work that you do together. Whatever service industry that you're in, that applies if you're a hairdresser, for example. I've also seen this for dentists. I've seen this for surgeons. Any industry that you think of, right? You can think of someone who charges a low fee, and you can also find evidence to support there are people charging 100 times that. Okay. So what's the difference? Well, the difference is mindset. You can have a bottle of water that's sold in a shop in, I don't know, whatever country, and that costs £1, right? But you can also find the same bottle of water at the airport that's going to cost you £5. And so it's about where we place ourselves, right? Which room we're in. And so when we're coming from this place of, I'll lose my clients if I charge more, what we're saying is that, everyone around us is not going to be able to afford it because they simply don't value it. And this comes back to our self-concept and our identity about the value that we are providing for people. And this might be particularly hard in a industry, if you work in that is driven by helping people. It might be more challenging if you're in industry where you're in a type of service where you're maybe a coach and you're helping transform people's lives, or you're a counselor, or you're a GP, right? It could even be applicable if you're web design or social media. It actually doesn't really matter. But often I find this more of a challenge when you're working in a service-based industry, i.e., you're not selling a product, you're selling your time for money. So, just to reframe this, raising your fees is about attracting aligned clients, not keeping everyone happy. Because if you're in the industry of keeping everyone happy, you're going to end up resenting yourself and the time that you're taking to show up for these clients, right? You're going to end up resenting the time. And therefore, you're not going to be providing and showing up as your fullest self. You're not going to be providing the best service that you can, because deep down inside of you, you're going to feel like, do I really want to be working for this amount of money for this amount of time? Right. And so the client's going to feel that, whether you say it or not, energetically, a client is going to feel that. And so the right client will value your work. I'm going to say that again. The right client will value your work, and they are going to invest in themselves through you. If you think back to your life and all of the things that you've invested in, it's probably been because you really want a change to happen. You really want something, right? Money is just an energetic exchange of value, right? There are people out there that might buy a secondhand car and they're going to buy the BMW that's going to be 40 grand a secondhand. But there are also going to be people out there that don't value having a vehicle or luxury as much. And so to them, they might have £1,000 to spend. Either way is fine, right? The vehicle is still going to get you from A to B. It's just that maybe the comfort of the more expensive car is going to feel a bit nicer, and you're going to get there in more style, or you're going to feel a certain way about it, right? So you are your product. If you're selling something, your uniqueness, your story is what's going to attract people and the right people into your world. So, for example, going back to my story, if you haven't heard it yet, I got burnout. I lived as an expat. And for me, life is about freedom, right? It's about using our money in ways that creates freedom for ourselves. And so it's my story that's led me to this point in my journey, which people resonate with. Okay. So you need to get clear on your story, what your turning point of your story was, how you can feel, empowered with that story to get yourself some confidence that you've overcome a challenge that you can now help someone else with, right? And get clear on who that person is, because that person is going to pay for your services. Okay. The imposter syndrome might show up in a slightly different way. So you might be thinking to yourself, who am I to charge this much? And this is also quite a common struggle, especially for women in the helping professions. But your expertise, your experience, and your unique energy are what is worth it. Your expertise, your experience, and your unique energy is what is worth it. And you have to believe that fundamentally in yourself. You have to create the unshakable belief that you can deliver this outcome for your client. Because when you show up with that energy, when you show up with that unshakable belief that you can help someone overcome whatever challenge it is, they will believe it too. And they will get motivated to get over the line and start taking action in their own life. You know yourself, if you've ever paid a tenner for a gym membership and you just haven't shown up because you're just waking up in the morning and you're like, I can't be bothered, right? The energy of that is very different than if you're spending a couple £100 on a gym membership a month, because you're going to feel like I want to show up because I need to make the most out of it. And the same applies if you're in a service-based industry. For someone to show up, for not to cancel their sessions or not to cancel their time with you, they have to feel like this is something that, it's too big to lose, basically, right? If you have nothing to lose, then, realistically, you're going to take action. Okay. So the more someone has invested in your program financially, the more invested emotionally they're going to be in with that as well. They're going to have skin in the game, so to speak. Um, cool. Let's talk about how to know your value and charge confidently, right? So we want to be shifting fear into empowerment. How do you determine your value and charge confidently? Well, you want to be charging for your time and your energy. So I like to reverse engineer this. And for me, that comes in the form of a financial audit. You don't have to do a financial audit right now, but it is something that I support my clients in. And what we do is we better understand what your personal financial goals are. So, what is it that you want to achieve in the long term, i.e., 10 years and beyond? What is it that you want to achieve in the next maybe 5 to 10 years, so midterm? And what do you want to achieve in the short term? And typically that's anything in the next year, right? So get really clear on what those goals are going to look like. And we're not thinking about what you don't want. We're thinking about what you do want. Okay. We're thinking about what you do want, because when you put out to the universe, I don't want to be broke anymore. Guess what? The universe doesn't hear, I don't want to be. All the universe hears is broke. Okay, so we need to be transforming that thought and reframing it into I want abundance, I want financial freedom, I want security. And when we get really clear on what that actually looks like, then the universe will conspire in our favor and we will naturally start taking actions and noticing those opportunities that are around us, because opportunities are around us all of the time. It's just that sometimes we're not at that frequency or at that vibration where we're actually noticing those gifts that are all around us. Okay. So we want to be reverse engineering it. And once you get clear on how much you're going to need, let's say your goal is in a year's time. Let's say you want to buy a car, for example, or no, let's say you want to go on a really nice holiday. Let's say that holiday is going to cost you £4,000. You now know that in addition to what you're already making, you need to make £4,000. So let's say you have 12 months to make that money back, or 10 months. Let's say you need to increase your revenue by £400 a month. Then you can work out, how many clients do I need for that? How many hours do I need to work for that? what's that going to look like in terms of, the time that I'm spending with people? So reverse engineering is a really important part of the process to get clear on what your outcome actually is. If we start from, I want to charge more and I'm charging, for my time, you're just going to pluck a number out the sky and look at what other people around you are charging. Whereas where you're at in your life right now, maybe you have a mortgage, maybe you have a car, maybe you have children, maybe you have other financial responsibilities. That's a reflection of the impact that you've already created in the world, right? And so, in order to get to the next level, we need to be looking inward at your financial strategies and your financial systems so that you can then leverage your financial skill set to be making the most out of that money, to be assertive with your finances and what you're charging, right? You also need to be positioning yourself as an expert. So maybe you've spent years working on your skills, right? Skills can always be taught. Skills can always be taught, but something that cannot be taught is passion. Passion, purpose, those are two things that are unique to you. And by raising your fees, you're not just valuing your work, you're signaling to clients or to prospects that you're the expert worth investing in. The third thing is you need to be financially responsible. So I just spoke about creating a plan for yourself, understanding what your end goal is, and then reverse engineering it into how much you want to be charging and earning right now, and then taking consistent action and small steps to make that happen. But being financially responsible also means making sure that you are paying yourself fairly, that you are paying yourself a salary because you need to be creating financial security for yourself. If you don't have financial security, you are going to be coming from a place of scarcity and you're going to be looking around going, where are the clients, right? The clients are right there. The clients are right in front of you. Okay, we are not in the business of selling to people. We are in the business of creating clients. We are creators of our lives. We are creators of our reality. And when we come from that lens, we come from this empowered place where we can say, right, this is how much I need to maintain my lifestyle. This is how much I need to get to the next level of my lifestyle. And then you can work out, am I actually realistically covering my expenses? Am I able to reinvest in my own growth and my own skills? Right? So raising your fees isn't just about profit, it's about sustainability. You are your greatest asset. You are your greatest asset. It doesn't matter how many properties you have, how much you have in investments. If you're not investing in yourself to grow, you're not going to feel expansive, right? You're going to feel in that place of scarcity, like you're constantly running, chasing after the bills so that you can pay them in this reactive state rather than feeling empowered about the gift that you have to the world. And this is the cost of not charging enough, right? So you need to get clear on what's the cost to you. What is the cost to you? If you don't make this happen, what really is the cost? What happens if that doesn't manifest for you? Emotionally, mentally, financially, when you undercharge. Maybe emotionally, it makes you resent yourself. Maybe you feel a bit guilty. Maybe then you keep secrets from your partner because really you can't help contribute towards the household bills this month. Maybe mentally it causes a setback because you think to yourself, well, I'm just taking on clients just because, and I'm not really enjoying it, right? Maybe financially it then takes its toll because you can't afford the holiday, right? And this is the cost of not charging enough, okay? If you have a gift to the world, if you are living at a certain level, then you want to be increasing your fees at a price point that feels authentic to you, feels aligned, so that you can contribute to those household bills, that you can maintain your lifestyle, that people are getting the best results from the service that you are providing. And so I want you to think about the impact on your energy and your relationships it has right now by not charging your worth. How does that impact your ability to show up fully for your clients? How does that show up for you? So that's how you're going to know if your value and what you're charging is aligned, right? Is actually looking at the numbers, being financially responsible and getting comfortable with that. And then you could even Often what I tell my clients is, put on a post-it how much, once you've reverse engineered that, put on a post-it how much you can be charging, how much you should be charging, and say it in the mirror every single day until you get to the point that you believe the service and the value that you're providing to people is worth it. Okay. And this is not about just convincing yourself for the sake of convincing yourself, right? This is about where you're at in your journey right now. Because as I said before, everything you've learned throughout your life has brought you to this point, and that is invaluable experience. You don't need to find someone who is 100 steps ahead, who is 100 steps behind you. You need to find someone who's just one step behind you, who needs to learn one thing from you. Okay, we all have a gift, we all have a purpose in this life, and we can help someone overcome their struggles and their challenges through the experiences that we've had ourselves, right? And that could cut out years for someone. That could cut out years of despair or distress for someone else. The third thing is selling as a service. And I know how many of you might feel uncomfortable with selling, especially, as I said before, if you're from this helping profession. Just to define this a little bit more, when I say helping profession, and I think I kind of might have said this before, but helping profession is when you're selling your time, right? It's not selling a particular product, it's selling your time as a product. So obviously, you might have seen people online convert their service into a product in the form of like digital products, where people might have something that they can download on a website, where someone might be able to have a toolkit or something that they can, or a checklist or some kind of what can I say, like visualization, or that there might be a product that you can create from your skill set or from your service. But selling as a service is selling a transformation, right? Even if it's cutting hair, you're not just selling someone a haircut, you're selling how they're going to feel at the end of that haircut. And to prove this to you, there's viral TikTok accounts of people who aren't just cutting hair, but they're doing a full makeover. They're doing a full reinvention. Okay. So there are so many ways that you could do this. Selling isn't something that we do to someone, it's something that we do for someone. It's not something we do to someone, it's something you do for someone. Okay. And there is a major difference in that, right? Because we're in the business of transformation and helping people. Think about it. If you truly believe in the value of your work, isn't it a disservice to not offer it to those people that need it? Right? Self-sabotage is the most selfish thing that we can do as individuals. As humans, self-sabotage is the most detrimental thing, selfish thing that we can do, because we are doing ourselves, we are doing our clients a disservice to the people that actually need it. You are on this earth because you were put here because you have a purpose, right? And so, how do we sell with integrity? Well, it's focusing on that transformation that you provide. It's about being really, really clear about the results that a client can expect when they invest in your services. So, I know anyone that works with me, they are going to feel financially freer once they've worked with me. But not only that, they're going to get complete clarity about their finances. They're going to feel more financially responsible. They're going to have better relationships. They're going to be more honest with themselves. They're going to show up in a way that feels more authentic. Okay, they're going to have confidence with their money. And so you need to get really clear about the results that clients can expect when they invest in your services. Now, I'd also caveat this in that they're not just investing in your services, they're investing in themselves. This is what I always say to people. For me, there's an abundance of clients everywhere. So someone can choose to invest in me, but ultimately, what they're choosing is yes to themselves. The hardest thing is saying yes to yourself sometimes, right? Think about all the times in your life where you've put stuff off and you're like, oh, I'm not going to do it today. I'm going to do it tomorrow. I'm not going to do it today. And then tomorrow never comes, right? You're doing yourself a disservice. And all you needed to say was yes. And behind that yes, on the other side of that yes, could be everything you've ever dreamed of. So if you're confident that you can deliver an outcome for someone, then they will feel empowered to say yes to themselves. Okay. And remember, you're not selling your time, you're selling the value of the outcome that you create, this outcome. So, as I said before, for people that work with me, that's feeling more empowered with their money, that's creating financial freedom. Okay. But I'm not selling a 1 hour coaching session, I'm selling a transformation. Because look, if I tell someone that I'm going to make them do a budget, it's likely they're not going to want to do it. And that's why they're where they are right now. Okay, that's why they're feeling stressed about their finances. But the truth is, you can access so many free budgets online. So the challenge is not creating a budget. The challenge is whatever is going on deeper for someone. And so for me, it's transforming those subconscious beliefs and getting someone aligned and feeling empowered with their money. That is the transformational result, not the session itself. Right? So don't get stuck on how many hours you're working. Get more clear on what the result is for your client. Okay. And that way you create the unshakable belief about the value that you're providing. And you will then be able to charge with confidence. Number 4 is overcoming the scarcity mindset. So if you're stuck in this thinking of where are my clients, and I know I've sort of touched on this because I kind of deviated from my notes, but if you're feeling like, where are my clients? Where are they? This is classic scarcity mindset. I hear this so much from new coaches. Sarah, where'd you get your clients? How'd you get your clients? Right? There is no silver bullet to creating clients. Let's scrap the getting clients. There is no silver bullet to creating clients. And look, I'm on YouTube, okay, and I probably know that there's going to be adverts throughout this video, or I don't even know if there are going to be adverts, but there's definitely going to be some adverts, and I've seen loads of them that's like, implement my strategy, and you're going to have clients coming to you left, right, and center. Just because something has worked for someone else, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for you. That's the first thing. Okay, you've got to get clear on your authentic self because that's going to come from within you. The path is going to reveal itself. It's not going to come in the form of an outward strategy, right? It's going to reveal itself along the journey. Okay. And as I said in a couple of my videos ago, I changed nothing about my funnels. I changed nothing about my business except my mindset, except my energy, and clients just started dropping out of the sky. Okay. So it's about shifting, not where are the clients, but how can I be more available to them? How can I be more accessible to them? How can I support them more? How can I provide them more value on their journey? Okay. And you've got to trust that there are enough clients. No, forget that. Let's scrap this enough clients. Okay. Let's come from the perspective of trust that there is an abundance of clients. The world is full of people who need what you offer. There are 8 billion people in the world. Someone out there needs what you do. Your job is to position yourself in a way that attracts the right ones. So focus on your zone of genius. Instead of chasing clients, instead of trying to be everything to everyone, focus on what it is that you do best. Because the right clients will resonate with your unique expertise. Just to throw in a little anecdote here, I had a session booked in this morning, and it was a discovery call. So in the world of coaching, normally you have a conversation with someone to better understand where they're at, how you can help them, whether you're aligned in, your energies, what you actually want to achieve, whether you can help them achieve it or not, and what it is that they actually want. And this person cancelled the call this morning. Now, I very rarely get cancellations. And so sometimes it can be a little bit annoying because then you start doubting yourself and you want to contact that person. And today I thought, I'm not in the business of chasing. When this person is ready, they will show up. And look, I'm not going to waste my time on sending an email to someone who's already wasted my time. If they were ready to show up for themselves, they would have shown up for themselves. Okay. You can't control how someone else is feeling, right? That person, I have to believe they're not ready for it. They're not ready to hear it for whatever reason. They thought they were, and now they're not. And that's okay. And so I shifted my energy completely. What happened? I had 2 other phone calls with people who wanted me to go into their companies and talk about financial well-being. So I was actively looking for the opportunities. I woke up this morning and I said to myself, before I knew that session was cancelled, I woke up and I said to myself, what opportunities are going to reveal themselves for me today? And the first thing I see, cancelled session. But no, when you come with the energy of what opportunities are going to present themselves to me, you notice the positive things more because that's what's highlighted in your subconscious. So then I was able to notice the other opportunities that were coming to me. And I realize it's getting a little bit dark, isn't it? It's getting a little bit dark. Right. Okay. I hate the fact that it's 4 o'clock in the afternoon and the sun's already setting here in the UK. But anyway, right. Um, the other thing as part of overcoming the scarcity mindset is letting go of the outcome. Letting go of the outcome. When you set your fees, let go of the fear of whether someone will say yes or no. I also want to caveat this that you don't have to actually necessarily set your fees. It might just be a big goal around like an annual target, for example. And I'll explain more on that in a minute. But trust that the right clients are going to find you and that every no is just a redirection. Every no is a redirection. As I just said to you this morning, that no was a redirection into something greater because that's going to give me more opportunity. Now, I had a client who set a revenue goal. They said that they wanted to achieve or 10 times their income this year. We did some work. We actually only had 2 sessions. And then they came to me and they told me that they had a proposal for double the amount of what their revenue was set for this year. And they said to me, Sarah, the fact that this has landed on my table, and we're talking like 500,000 here, proposal, they said to me, is this because of the mindset work that I've done? And I said to them, potentially, yes, because maybe this opportunity was always on the table for you. This friend that referred you, they were always there. But now you've up leveled your belief, you've up leveled your energy, and you've cleared out all of your money clutter. You've got clear on what debts you need to repay. You've got clear on what savings you have and what savings you don't have and where you need to invest and all of the practical money stuff. You've now made space to call in more money, right? And so we're getting into the flow. Money is flow, energy is flow, life is flow, right? And this is all mirrored back to us. And she said to me, is it because of the mindset work that we've done? And I said to her, you need to let go of the outcome because maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But either way, that's fine. Maybe the universe has decided that you're ready for it and you show up and you go into that pitch and you give it your all and you feel like you're ready for this client. Maybe you don't get the business. Now, if you've hung your hat on getting that business, right, you're going to be missing other things that are coming into your life along the way. So you need to get clear with that intention and let go of that outcome. Maybe the thing that lands on your desk is the thing to turn everything. Maybe it's not. And so when we detach from that, and this is the law of detachment, I think it's the hot high priestess. She often talks about the law of detachment, but it's a very powerful tool because then you're not hanging your hat on the outcome. You're still in this energetic space of looking for more opportunities that are going to come to you. Okay, one more section, and this is about practical tips to raise your fees. So, how are you going to actually implement this in your business? First of all, you need to get really clear about communicating your value. Communicating your value. So when you're discussing fees, and that should be the last thing that you do, because we're not, as I said, in the business of getting clients, we're in the business of creating clients. And so you need to know that someone's committed to work with you and to their own transformation before they actually pay you for it. Okay. So focus on the results and the transformation that the client is going to experience. Then you need to set yourself a timeline. So if you are thinking about raising your fees, this could be a good opportunity to get some low-hanging business and low-hanging fruit into your pipeline. So give your existing clients, give your existing network advance notice that you are going to be raising your fees. For example, on X date or starting from the end of this month or beginning of next month, my new fees are going to be XYZ. Okay, so communicate that with them, with authority, with leadership, with power. Okay. And by doing that, you never know what's going to fly back to you. Stand firm. If someone pushes you back on your fees, remember they're probably not your ideal client. If someone says, "Oh, I can't afford it," they're probably not your ideal client because the right people, they are going to see your value and they are going to invest with what they feel like they can invest at that time, right? As I said before, it's all about value. It's about value, okay? You might not go and join the best gym in the country, but you still want to get fit. So you might go and join the other gym around the corner that costs a tenner, but you end up not going as much. And so if you want the six pack in 3 months, then maybe you have to pay more to get yourself up early in the morning to go more consistently to make sure that you see the results that you've invested in. Okay, so stand firm. If someone pushes back on your fees, remember that they are probably not your ideal client and it has absolutely no reflection on you and your values and your expertise. Yes, maybe you can communicate your value more. Sometimes we might say one thing that might put someone off. And so when you're in this organic, authentic space, you can openly ask someone this question. Was there something that I said or not said that might have interested you or not interested you? Okay, so we come from this place of curiosity. We come from this place of service, of wanting to help people across the line. And there have been times where people have told me no, and or they can't afford it, or it's not priority right now. And I've said to them, that's fine. Now is not the right time that we work together. I push back and I tell them, no, it's okay. Come back to me in 6 months' time or when you feel that things are more aligned with you. Now, I know that they might get there on their own, but they might also not take any action at all. Either way, whether I'm part of their journey or not, that's absolutely fine because we've let go of the outcome. Okay. But standing firm means that you're not going to resent them. Okay. The last thing is just celebrate each step. Every time you set a new boundary, right? Every time, let's say someone cancels a session, you've let it go in the past, and now you're saying, no, you can only cancel 24 hours in advance, otherwise you will be billed for my time. You know, every time you do that, celebrate. Every time you raise your fees, celebrate. Every time you make a sale, no matter how big, no matter how small, we celebrate every single moment because they are a big deal, even if it's a small step, because it's small, consistent action that's going to create big change at the end of the day. So, to conclude, because it is getting really dark and I haven't stuck the light on, I hope that you can still see me in this video. Yes, I think that you can, which is great. And I've realized you can probably see my neighbor, so maybe we can move that a little bit. Great. So raising your fees is not just about money. It's about stepping into your power. It's about aligning with your purpose. We are all here to do something magical in this world. And when you're aligned with that, when you're in touch with that, you can be proactive rather than reactive, right? And that's when we start to create a sustainable business that supports your life and your lifestyle at large. So let me know in the comments. What is your biggest mindset block when it comes to raising your fees? And which of these tips are you going to try first? I hope there's been some nugget here that has resonated with you because even if it's just one person, I hope that this has helped you on your journey to create financial freedom for yourself. And if you're ready to dive deeper into your money mindset, or maybe you're curious about doing a financial audit, maybe you want to build a thriving aligned business, then you can check out my 90-day money makeover experience. I'll leave the details in the box below. I also have a free money personality quiz, which helps you understand your path to financial freedom with the least resistance, i.e., your path to creating financial freedom in your life in the most organic way that feels authentic and feels aligned so that you can do it with confidence and ease. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with anyone you think that might need a little nudge towards owning their self-worth. I want you to be making 2025 the year that we all step into our power and create true financial freedom. So have a great day, guys, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.